You stole his future. My parents yelled at me in court just because I bought my own house at 21 without a single dime from them. So I asked them back, does he even have a future to steal? I just gotten home from the hardware store replacing some drywall anchors in the guest bedroom. The house was a work in progress, but it was mine. Bought it 6 months ago at 21 with money I would save since I was 14. Ryan Mitchell. I set down the bag. Yeah. He handed me an envelope. You have been served. Then he walked away like he had not just dropped a bomb on my Tuesday afternoon. I stood there holding the envelope. Official-looking legal weight to it. Opened it slowly. Patricia and Donald Mitchell versus Ryan Mitchell. My parents were suing me. I read the first page, then the second, then went back and read them again because surely I was misunderstanding. Claim righteous interference with prospective economic advantage. Additional claims: unjust enrichment fraud, breach of familial duty. Translation: they were suing me for being successful while my older brother Tyler was not. The allegations were insane. Defendant Ryan Mitchell deliberately manipulated family dynamics to secure unfair advantages. Defendant withheld crucial business advice and mentorship from his brother Tyler Mitchell, directly causing Tyler business ventures to fail. Defendant used family name and reputation to build business while sabotaging his brother's identical efforts. Defendant received undisclosed financial support from extended family members, which he has fraudulently claimed to have earned independently. They were demanding $250,000 in damages plus transfer of my house to Tyler as restitution for opportunities stolen. I sat down on the porch steps. Read it again. My phone was already ringing. Mom, I answered. What the heck is this? Do not you dare use that language with me. You are suing me. You left us no choice. You have been selfish and cruel to your brother. Selfish. Selfish. I worked 3 jobs through college while you paid for Tyler private school. Dad voice in the background. Let me talk to him. Phone switched. Ryan, this is happening. You can either settle reasonably or we will see you in court. Settle for what? What did I do? You know exactly what you did. You built your little business using our family connections. What connections? We are middle class. There are no connections. You sabotaged your brother. Every time he tried to start something, you were there undermining him. I offered to help him. I offered to teach him basic business planning. He told me I was thinking too small. Mom voice again. She had grabbed the phone back. You stole his future, Ryan. That house should be his. That business should be his. You knew he was the entrepreneur in the family. He has failed 3 businesses. You gave him $100,000 and he lost it all because you sabotaged him. I was in college building my own thing. I did not even live in the same city. Tyler voice in the background whiny and loud. That is my house. I should be living there. He stole my life. I closed my eyes. Tyler, you are 25 years old. You live in mom and dad basement. I did not steal anything. I built something. With our family help, Tyler shouted. Grandpa gave you money. Admit it. Grandpa has been dead for 6 years, and he left us both the same amount. $2,000. Liar. You got more. You must have. I stood up. I am done with this conversation. Mom, you will be hearing from our lawyer. We are taking you to court, and we are going to win. You owe your brother. You owe this family. I do not owe you anything. I worked for everything I have. You gave me nothing, Dad, because you did not need anything. You were always self-sufficient. Tyler needed support. So you are punishing me for not being a failure. We are correcting an injustice. See you in court. Click. They hung up. I sat there holding the phone. Then I called my best friend Marcus. Yo, what is up? My parents are suing me for $250,000. Silence. What I told him, everything. The lawsuit, the claims, the demand for my house. Dude, that is insane. Can they do that? Apparently they can file. Winning is different. This is about Tyler, right? Golden child Tyler who has failed at everything. Yeah, man. Your parents are delusional. You built everything yourself. I watched you do it. They are claiming I sabotaged him. That I used family connections to succeed. Marcus laughed. Bitter. Family connections. Your dad is a middle manager and your mom is in human resources. What connections exactly? What are you going to do? Fight it. I am not giving them a dime. Good. They are out of their minds. After we hung up, I sat on my porch and thought about the last 7 years. I was 14 when I started working. Not because I wanted to, because I asked my parents for $20 for robotics club, and Dad said, "Money does not grow on trees, son. You want it, earn it. That same week, Tyler got $500 for some entrepreneurship camp. I started mowing lawns that Saturday, $15 an hour. By summer end, I would saved $800. Tyler spent his $500 on video games and Chipotle. When I turned 16, I got a used bike from Craigslist for $80. My parents gave it to me for my birthday. I was grateful. At least they had gotten me something. 2 months later, Tyler turned 16. They bought him a brand new Ford Mustang, $35,000. Tyler needs reliable transportation for internship opportunities. Dad explained when I asked why the difference. Tyler never had an internship. He drove that Mustang to parties and wrecked it junior year. They bought him another car. I biked everywhere until I was 18 and bought my own car, a 15-year-old Honda Civic, for $3,000 I would saved from tutoring and computer repair gigs. College was worse. Tyler got into Cornell, $75,000 a year, private business school, the best. Mom called it. They threw him a party, catered 100 people, spent $3,000 on a celebration for getting into an expensive school he had barely qualified for. I got a full academic scholarship to State University. 4 years, full ride, everything covered. I told them at dinner, "That is good." Dad said, "You have always been self-sufficient." That was it. No party, no celebration. I got a text from Mom the next day. "Congrats, sweetie. Tyler got a graduation party when he finished high school. Another big event. Gifts, money, speeches about his bright future. I graduated valedictorian. Got a card with $50 in it. College was 4 years of grinding. I worked 3 part-time jobs, campus information technology, tutoring, freelance web design. My scholarship covered tuition, but I needed money for rent, food, books. I worked 30 hours a week on top of full-time classes. Graduated with a 3.8 grade point average, $15,000 in savings, and 0 debt. Tyler graduated from Cornell with a 2.4 grade point average and $200,000 in student loans my parents had co-signed. The job market is tough for new grads, Mom explained when Tyler moved back home with no job offers. I was already working, already building. At 20, I started my business. E-commerce tech accessories, phone cases, charging cables, laptop stands. Spent 6 months researching suppliers, studying the market, learning logistics. Started with $2,000 of my own money. First year, $45,000 in revenue, $12,000 profit after expenses. I reinvested every penny, worked 18-hour days, day job plus business at night. Tyler was 24 then, on his second failed business venture. The first was a food truck. Parents gave him $45,000 to start it. He bought a fancy custom truck with the expensive logo. Gourmet equipment. Never researched permits, health codes, or locations. Picked a terrible spot, charged too much, and failed in 3 months. The truck got repossessed. The city regulations killed his dream. Mom said, "Nobody asked why I was not struggling with the same regulations." Then came crypto trading. Parents gave Tyler $30,000. He watched YouTube gurus and thought he would get rich quick. Bought high, panic, sold low, lost everything in 6 weeks. The market is rigged. Dad said nobody asked why some people make money in crypto, and Tyler did not. Then the consulting firm, $25,000 from my parents. Tyler rented a downtown office for $3,000 a month. Spent $8,000 on branding, logo. Website, business cards, had 0 clients, 0 expertise, 0 business plan. He called himself a disruptive business strategist. Closed in 4 months when the money ran out. Corporate America is intimidated by innovators, Mom explained. Meanwhile, I turned 21. My business hit $180,000 in annual revenue, $65,000 in profit. I quit my day job to focus full-time. Found a fixer-upper house for $140,000. Put down 20%, $28,000 I would saved. Spent 4 months renovating it myself. YouTube tutorials, sweat equity, 12-hour days of drywall and paint, moved in 3 weeks ago. My parents came to see it once. Must be nice to get lucky with timing, Dad said, looking around. Not congratulations. Not we are proud. Not how did you do this. Just luck. That was their explanation. And now they were suing me, claiming I would stolen Tyler's future. I sat on my porch until the sun set. Then I went inside, opened my laptop, and searched for lawyers. Found a firm, Blackwell & Associates, specialized in defending against frivolous lawsuits. Reviews were brutal in the best way. Destroyed my ex-baseless lawsuit and made them pay my legal fees. They do not just win, they make the other side regret filing. Perfect. I called and left a message. My parents are suing me for being more successful than my brother. I want to fight this, and I want them to regret it. Next morning, my phone rang at 8:00 a.m. Ryan Mitchell. This is David Blackwell. Got your message? Tell me everything I did. The golden child dynamic. The $100,000 they would given Tyler. The $0 they would given me. The lawsuit claiming I would somehow stolen Tyler opportunities. Blackwell listened without interrupting. When I finished, he said, "This is one of the most frivolous suits I have seen in 20 years of practice. Can they win? Absolutely not. Their claims have no legal merit. But Ryan, let me ask you something. Do you want to just win, or do you want to make a statement? What kind of statement? Countersue, abuse of process, malicious prosecution, intentional infliction of emotional distress. Make them pay your legal fees. Make this so expensive and painful they never try this garbage with anyone again." I thought about it for exactly 3 seconds. Let us make an example out of them. Good. I will need documentation, tax returns, bank statements, work records, anything proving yourself. I have 7 years of tax returns. W-2s from every job, business formation documents, everything. Perfect. Send it all. They are claiming fraud. That you secretly received help. We are going to prove they defrauded the court by filing this nonsense. How long until trial? 6 months probably. Discovery will be interesting. We will depose them under oath. Make them explain how you stole opportunities you never asked for. I smiled. First time since getting served. When do we start? We already did. I am filing our response tomorrow. And Ryan? Yeah, they think you are still the kid who would not fight back. Show them who you became. After the call, I spent the rest of the day building my case. I pulled every text message where they praised Tyler Vision despite his failures. Every Facebook post celebrates his ventures. Every family dinner where they ignored my accomplishments. Every receipt showed I would never received a dime from them. By midnight, I had a 47-page document, a complete timeline. Tyler received $45,000 food truck, plus $30,000 crypto, plus $25,000 consulting, plus $200,000 college loans co-signed, $300,000 total parental investment. Ryan received $0. Tyler current status, $180,000 in debt, living in parents' basement, 3 failed businesses. Ryan current status, $95,000 net worth. Business owner, homeowner, 0 debt. Subject line evidence. How to destroy your own parents' lawsuit. I sent it to Blackwell, went to bed, and slept better than I had in weeks because for the first time in my life, I was not taking their quietly. They wanted a war. They were about to learn what I was capable of when I stopped playing nice. 2 weeks after hiring Blackwell, the countersuit hit. I was at my desk fulfilling orders when my phone rang. Blackwell, they got served an hour ago. Your mother called my office screaming. What did she say? That you are an ungrateful son. That we are monsters. That she is calling the Bar Association standard panic when people realize they are screwed. What happens now? Discovery. We ask them questions under oath, request documents, make them prove their claims. It is going to get ugly. Good. That evening, my phone exploded. 17 missed calls. 12 from Mom, 3 from Dad, 2 from Tyler. I listened to one voicemail. Mom crying, "How could you do this to us? We are your parents. You are countersuing us. This is elder abuse. Elder abuse." They were 58. I deleted the rest without listening. Text from Tyler. "You are a disgusting. Hope you are happy destroying the family." I blocked his number. Text from Dad. "This has gone too far. Drop the countersuit and we will drop ours. Let us be adults." I replied, "You sued me first. You started this. I am finishing it." He did not respond. Next day, Marcus came over with beer and pizza. "Dude, your family is losing their minds on Facebook. I am not on Facebook. I know. That is why I am showing you." He pulled up his phone. My mother had posted, "Heartbroken does not even begin to describe what we are feeling. We tried to help our youngest son understand family obligation, and he has responded by attacking us legally. We only wanted him to help his struggling brother. Instead, he has chosen money over family, praying for his soul." 200 comments, half supporting her, half calling one comment from my Aunt Rachel. "Patricia, did not you pay for Tyler College and businesses? What did Ryan get?" Mom response. "Ryan was always independent. He did not need help." Another comment from my Uncle Jim. "So you are punishing him for being responsible." Mom had not responded to that one. Marcus scrolled further. Tyler had posted too. My little brother is suing our parents because they asked him to help me out. I made some business mistakes, sure, but family is supposed to support each other. Instead, he has got lawyers attacking mom and dad. This is what greed does to people. The comments were more split. Some defending him, some asking pointed questions. How much money did your parents give you for your businesses? Why should your brother give you his money? Did he actually do anything wrong, or are you just mad? He is successful? Tyler had not answered any of those. They are trying to control the narrative, Marcus said. Let them. The truth will come out in court. My phone rang. Unknown number. I answered. Ryan, it is Aunt Rachel. Hey, I saw your mom Facebook post, wanted to hear your side. I told her everything. The lawsuit, the claims, the $100,000 Tyler had burned through, the $0 I would ever asked for. She was quiet for a long moment. Ryan, I am so sorry. I knew they favored Tyler, but I did not realize it was this bad. Most people did not. For what it is worth, I am on your side, and I told your mother that in the comments. Thanks. Do you need anything? Money for lawyers. No, I have got it covered. Okay, but if you do call me. And Ryan, do not back down. They need to learn this lesson. After we hung up, Marcus looked at me. You have got some family on your side. At least some, not all, but enough. 3 weeks later, deposition started. Blackwell called me the night before. Tomorrow, we depose your parents. I'm going to ask very specific questions about money. It will not be comfortable. Good. Your job is to stay calm. Do not react. Just let me work. Got it. The deposition was at Blackwell office conference room, table chairs, court reporter. My parents arrived with their lawyer, some guy named Foster, who looked uncomfortable from the moment he walked in. Mom would not look at me. Dad glared. The court reporter swore them in. Blackwell started with my mother. It took him exactly 20 minutes to dismantle her entire story. How much money to Tyler for businesses? $100,000. How much to Ryan? $0. How much for Tyler college? $220,000 in loans and expenses. How much for Ryan? $0. What specific actions did Ryan take to sabotage Tyler? He refused to help. Mom said, is Ryan legally obligated to provide free business consulting? Family should help each other? Did Tyler help Ryan? Silence. Mrs. Mitchell, did Tyler ever offer assistance to Ryan? I do not know. You do not know, but you are certain Ryan sabotaged Tyler. Yes, based on what evidence Tyler told us. So you have no direct evidence. You are relying solely on Tyler's word. He is our son. Why would he lie? Blackwell pulled out bank statements, receipts, transaction records, walked her through every dollar they would given. Tyler made her confirm on the record that I would receive nothing. By the end, Mom was crying. Dad was furious. Foster looked like he wanted to be anywhere else. That is all I need, Blackwell said. Dad's deposition was shorter. Same questions, same answers, more anger. But the facts did not change. $320,000 to Tyler, $0 to me. After they left, Blackwell leaned back in his chair. Well, that went well. They looked miserable because they just admitted under oath they gave your brother everything and you nothing. Their entire lawsuit claims you had unfair advantages. We just proved the opposite. What happens now? Next week, we depose Tyler. That will be even more interesting. Tyler's deposition was a disaster for him. Anyway, he showed up in an ill-fitting suit, already defensive, before Blackwell asked the first question. Blackwell started with the food truck. Walk me through why it failed. Tyler launched into a speech about city regulations, permits, an unfair system designed to crush small business. Did you research these requirements before purchasing the truck? I knew there would be some red tape. Did you obtain the necessary permits? Yes or no? No. But did you have a business plan? Revenue projections, cost analysis? I had a vision. That is not a business plan. Blackwell pulled out records showing 17 other food trucks operating successfully in the same area during the same period. They all navigated the same regulations. Why did you fail? Tyler face reigned. They probably had more money. You had $45,000 in startup capital, more than most. Try again. I do not know. Maybe they got lucky. Blackwell moved to crypto. Tyler admitted he would lost $30,000 in 6 weeks based on following trends and watching YouTube videos from experts. Blackwell asked, yeah, people with lots of views. Did you verify they were successful traders? They had millions of views. Several people in the room tried not to laugh. The consulting business was worse. Tyler admitted he would rented a $3,000 office with 0 clients, spent $8,000 on branding with 0 revenue, and closed after 4 months. You burned through $25,000 with no business plan, no clients, and no results. Is that accurate? I was building the foundation. You were spending money you did not have on image instead of substance. Then came the real question. Mr. Mitchell, you claim Ryan sabotaged your ventures. How specifically he refused to help me? Did you ask him for help? Tyler hesitated. I mentioned my ideas. Did you explicitly ask for help, yes or no? Not in those words. So Ryan sabotaged you by not volunteering help you never requested. Family should help without being asked. Did you help Ryan with his business silence? Mr. Mitchell, what did you do to support Ryan's business? I encouraged him. How specifically, I do not remember exact conversations. Because there were not any. You never helped, never offered, never asked about his business. But you are suing him for not helping you. Tyler's face was red. He had advantages. Like what? He is smarter. He always got better grades. So you are suing him for being intelligent. No. He had it easier. He worked 3 jobs through college. You partied. He built a business while eating ramen. You spent $100,000 failing. What part was easier? Tyler stood up. This is Foster quietly. Sit down. Tyler sat breathing hard. Blackwell closed his folder. One last question. In your lawsuit, you claim Ryan House should be transferred to you. Why do you believe you are entitled to a house you did not earn, did not pay for, and did not build? Tyler looked at me with pure hatred. Because it should have been mine. That is my life he is living. Why should it have been yours? Because I am the oldest? I am supposed to be successful. Everything he has should be mine. Blackwell smiled. Thank you. That is all I needed. After Tyler stormed out, Blackwell turned to me. Well, that was a gift. How so? He just admitted under oath that he believes he is entitled to your assets simply for being born first. No judge in the country will side with that. What happens now? Now we wait for trial. But honestly, I do not think it will get that far. Why not? Because Foster is going to tell them they have no case. We have testimony proving it. And our countersuit is going to cost them more than their pride can afford. He was right. 3 days later, Foster called Blackwell, asked to discuss settlement. Blackwell called me. They want to drop everything, their suit, our countersuit. Walk away clean. No. No. I want them sanctioned. I want the judge to officially rule their lawsuit was frivolous. I want it on the record that they wasted the court time and mine. That is aggressive. They sued me for succeeding. They tried to take my house because their golden child failed. I want consequences. Blackwell was quiet for a moment. Then, all right, I will tell Foster no deal. When is trial? 4 weeks. And Ryan, they are going to panic when they realize you are serious. Good, let them panic. That night, I sat in my house, the one I would bought myself, renovated myself, earned myself, and felt absolutely nothing. No guilt, no doubt, no second thoughts. They had tried to destroy me legally for the crime of being successful. Now they were going to learn what happens when you pick a fight with someone who has nothing left to prove and nothing left to lose. The trial was in 4 weeks, and I was going to make sure they remembered it for the rest of their lives. 4 weeks felt like forever and no time at all. My parents tried everything to get me to settle. Mom left voicemails crying about how this was tearing the family apart. Dad sent emails about being reasonable and thinking of the family reputation. Tyler sent messages from new numbers I kept blocking, calling me every name in the book. I ignored all of it. Blackwell kept me updated on their lawyer, increasingly desperate attempts to negotiate. Foster called again 3rd time this week. They are willing to drop the lawsuit and pay your legal fees. No, Ryan, that is $15,000 in fees. That is a win. I do not want their money. I want a judgment. You understand that means going to trial in front of a judge with your parents? Yes, and you are prepared for that. I have been preparing for this my whole life. Just did not know it until now. 2 days before trial, Marcus came over. You sure about this, man? This is your family. They stopped being my family when they sued me. What if you win and they lose everything, their savings, their reputation? They should have thought about that before filing. No regrets? I thought about it, really thought about it. The only thing I regret is not setting boundaries sooner, letting them treat me like I was less important than Tyler for 21 years. This I gestured at the legal documents on my table. This is just the final consequence of their choices. All right, I will be there. Front row trial day. I wore a suit I would bought specifically for this. Navy blue, well-fitted, professional. Looked like someone who had their together, because I did. The courthouse was downtown, Old building, marble floors, that specific echo that makes everything feel more serious. Blackwell met me outside the courtroom. Ready. Yeah. Remember, stay calm. Let me do the talking. The judge is going to ask you some questions. Just answer honestly. Do not embellish. Do not get emotional. Got it. And Ryan, we are going to win. We walked in. My parents were already there with Foster. Mom looked like she had aged 5 years. Dad looked angry. Tyler sat behind them, arms crossed, glaring at me. The judge was a woman in her 60s. Judge Patricia Hernandez. Blackwell had told me she had a reputation for not tolerating perfect. All rise. We stood. Judge Hernandez entered, sat, reviewed her notes. Please be seated. We are here today for Mitchell versus Mitchell case number 2024CV8847. Mr. Foster, your clients filed the original complaint. Please summarize your case. Foster stood. He looked uncomfortable. Your Honor, the plaintiffs alleged that the defendant Ryan Mitchell engaged in interference and unjust enrichment by... Let me stop you there. Judge Hernandez said I have reviewed the depositions. The plaintiffs gave their older son Tyler over $300,000. They gave Ryan nothing, and they are suing Ryan for succeeding. Is that accurate? Foster shifted. Your Honor, it is more nuanced. Is it? Because the depositions seem pretty clear. Plaintiff spent $320,000 on Tyler, $0 on Ryan. Tyler failed 3 businesses. Ryan succeeded. Now they want Ryan to pay them $250,000. Where is the nuance? The plaintiffs believe that Ryan's success came at Tyler's expense based on what evidenced Tyler's testimony. Tyler's testimony that he is entitled to his brother's assets because he is older. That testimony. Foster looked at his notes, looked at my parents, looked back at the judge. Your Honor, families have obligations. Families have obligations. Courts enforce contracts. Do you have a contract showing Ryan owed his brother anything? No. But do you have evidence Ryan sabotaged Tyler's businesses? Tyler claims are not evidence. Mr. Foster, do you have evidence? Silence. I did not think so. Mr. Blackwell, I assume you have a motion. Blackwell stood. Yes, Your Honor. We move to dismiss the plaintiff complaint with prejudice and enter judgment on our counterclaim for abuse of process. Tell me about the counterclaim. Your Honor, this lawsuit was filed in bad faith. The plaintiffs have no evidence supporting their claims. The depositions prove they gave Tyler every advantage and Ryan none. They are using the court system to punish Ryan for succeeding where Tyler failed. That is textbook abuse of process. Judge Hernandez looked at my parents. Mr. and Mrs. Mitchell, do you understand what is happening here? Mom stood. Your Honor, we just wanted... Sit down, please. I am not asking what you wanted. I am telling you what you did. You filed a frivolous lawsuit against your son because you are embarrassed that you spent $300,000 on Tyler and he failed, while Ryan succeeded with no help from you. Dad started to speak. The judge held up her hand. I have read the depositions. I have reviewed the evidence. This case never should have been filed. Mr. Foster, you should have advised your clients of that. Foster looked miserable. Your Honor, I did advise, not strongly enough apparently. She turned to her computer, typed something. Motion to dismiss is granted. The plaintiff complaint is dismissed with prejudice. Judgment for the defendant on the counterclaim. The plaintiffs are ordered to pay defendants attorney fees in the amount of... She looked at Blackwell. What are we at? $18,400, Your Honor. $18,400. Additionally, I am sanctioning the plaintiffs in the amount of $5,000 for filing a frivolous lawsuit. That is payable to the court, not the defendant. My mother gasped. Dad put his head in his hands. Furthermore, Judge Hernandez continued, I am ordering that this judgment be entered into the public record with a notation that this was a frivolous suit filed in bad faith. Any future litigation by the plaintiffs against the defendant on these same claims will result in additional sanctions. She looked at my parents directly. Mr. and Mrs. Mitchell, I understand you are disappointed in how your son lives turned out differently than you expected, but your disappointment is not Ryan's responsibility. You made choices about how to allocate your resources. Tyler made choices about how to use those resources. Ryan made different choices. He succeeded. That is not a crime. That is not interference. That is life. But Your Honor, Mom tried. I am not finished. You came into this court asking for $250,000 in a house your son earned himself. Instead, you are leaving with a $23,000 judgment against you and a public record showing you sued your son for succeeding. I hope it was worth it. She banged her gavel. We are adjourned. The courtroom was silent for a moment. Then Tyler exploded. He sabotaged me. Everyone knows it. Mr. Mitchell, the judge said coldly. I suggest you leave before I hold you in contempt. Tyler stormed out. My parents sat there stunned. I stood up, adjusted my suit jacket, and walked out, did not look back. Outside the courtroom, Blackwell shook my hand. Congratulations. That was about as decisive as it gets. What happens now? Now they have 30 days to pay the judgment. If they do not, we can start collection proceedings. Liens, wage garnishment, the works. Will they pay? Probably. The alternative is worse. But Ryan, understand this is going to destroy your relationship with them. It already was destroyed. This just made it official. Marcus was waiting in the hallway. Dude, I heard the judge through the door. She destroyed them. Yeah, she did. How do you feel I thought about it? Free. That evening, the fallout began. Tyler posted on Facebook, "The justice system is a joke. My brother spent thousands on lawyers to destroy our family. A corrupt judge sided with him because he has money. This is what America has become. Family means nothing. Money is everything." The comments were brutal. Did not you sue him first? Corrupt judge? She just did not rule in your favor. Maybe get a job instead of blaming your brother. Tyler deleted the post an hour later. Mom posted, "We lost in court today. Not because we were wrong, but because the system favors the wealthy. We tried to teach our son about family values. Instead, he taught us that success corrupts, praying for his soul." Aunt Rachel commented, "Patricia, you sued him. You lost. Maybe it is time for some self-reflection instead of playing victim." Uncle Jim commented, "You spent $320,000 on Tyler and $0 on Ryan, then sued Ryan for succeeding. What did you expect?" Mom deleted the whole post. 3 days later, I got a call from Aunt Rachel. "Ryan, your parents are in trouble." "What kind of trouble?" "Financial. They refinanced the house twice to fund Tyler businesses. Between that and the judgment, they are looking at bankruptcy. That is not my problem." "I know. I am just telling you in case they try to guilt you. They have tried everything else. How are you doing? Really, honestly, better than I have been in years." "Good. You did the right thing. They needed consequences." "Thanks, Rachel." A week after the judgment, I was in my workshop. I would converted part of my garage when someone knocked. I opened the door. Tyler stood there. "We need to talk." "No, we do not. Please, just 5 minutes." Against my better judgment, I let him in. He looked terrible. Unshaven, wrinkled clothes, dark circles under his eyes. "What do you want, Tyler?" "I need money." I almost laughed. "You are kidding. I am serious. Mom and Dad are broke. They are going to lose the house. I am living in my car. I need help. You need help. After you sued me, after you claimed my house should be yours, after you called me every name in the book, I was angry. You were entitled. You still are. You think because you are older, because you were Mom and Dad favorite, that you deserve what I built. You do not. I made mistakes. You made choices. Bad choices repeatedly. And now you are facing consequences. Welcome to adulthood. So you are just going to let us lose everything. You lost everything on your own. Tyler, 3 businesses, $100,000, your parents' retirement. That is all you. I did not sabotage anything. You did that yourself. Please, I am your brother. No, you are someone I am biologically related to who spent my entire life treating me like I was less important. And now that I have succeeded, despite you, despite them, you want me to bail you out. The answer is no. Ryan, get out of my house. You are really going to do this. Turn your back on family. You turned your back on me the moment you sued me. Now I am just making it official. Get out. He left. I closed the door. Stood there for a minute, felt nothing. No guilt, no regret, no second thoughts, just peace. 2 months later, my parents filed for bankruptcy. Lost the house, moved into a small apartment. Tyler moved in with them. All 3 of them cramped in a 2-bedroom. The family group chat, the one I would left years ago, apparently exploded with drama. Rachel kept me updated even though I never asked. Some relatives blamed me, called me heartless, said families should stick together. Others understood, said my parents had made their bed. I did not care either way. I was building my life. My business hit $250,000 in revenue. I hired my first employee, started planning expansion, bought new equipment for the workshop, finally finished. Renovating the guest bathroom, started dating someone, a girl named Emma. I would met at a business networking event. She was smart, funny, building her own marketing agency. I told her about my family on our 3rd date. They sued you. She was shocked. Yeah, because you were successful. Because I was successful and their favorite son was not. That is insane. Yeah, it was. Do you talk to them now? No, and I do not plan to. Good. That takes strength or stubbornness. Sometimes they are the same thing. 6 months after the trial, I got a letter in the mail from my dad. I almost threw it away, but I opened it. Ryan, I do not expect you to respond to this. I do not even know if you will read it, but I needed to write it anyway. Your mother and I were wrong about everything. About how we treated you and Tyler differently, about the lawsuit, about thinking we could force you to fix our mistakes. We spent 21 years telling you that you did not need help because you were self-sufficient. What we were really saying was that we were too tired to help. Both of you and Tyler demanded more attention. That was our failure, not yours. You built something incredible. You did it alone. And instead of being proud, we resented you for it. We saw your success as a judgment on our failures with Tyler. I am sorry. Your mother is sorry. It is too late, I know. But I wanted you to know that we finally understand what we did. I do not expect forgiveness. I do not expect anything. I just wanted you to know that you were right about all of it. Dad. I read it twice, then put it in a drawer, did not respond. Maybe someday I would. Maybe someday I would be ready to have that conversation. But not today. Today I had a business to run, a life to build, a future that was entirely my own. And that was enough. 2 years later, I was in a coffee shop reviewing quarterly reports when Tyler walked in. I saw him before he saw me. He looked different, thinner, tired, wearing a retail store uniform with a name tag, haircut short and practical. None of the styled look he used to spend an hour on. He ordered coffee, turned around, and froze when he saw me. For a moment, neither of us moved. Then he walked over slowly. Ryan, Tyler. Can I sit just for a minute? I gestured to the chair. He sat carefully, like he expected me to change my mind. I am not here for money, he said immediately. I saw you and thought maybe I should finally say what I should have said 2 years ago. I waited. I am sorry for everything. The lawsuit, the entitlement, all of it. I destroyed my own life, Ryan. You did not do it. I did. He looked genuinely broken. Different from the Tyler who had screamed that my house should be his. I have been in therapy for 18 months, he continued. Real therapy, the kind where you face what you did wrong instead of blaming everyone else. And what did you do wrong? Everything. I spent 25 years thinking the world owed me success because I was oldest, because Mom and Dad believed in me. But I never put in the work. I just wanted results without effort. He stared at his coffee. The lawsuit was the lowest point. I actually convinced myself you had stolen my life. That is how delusional I was. But hitting bottom, losing everything, living in my car, working retail at 27, reality could not be ignored anymore. Where are you now, manager at the store, paying Mom and Dad back $50 a month, taking night classes in actual business fundamentals? It will take years, but I am doing it right this time. I studied him. This was not manipulation. This was someone who had been broken and was trying to rebuild. I appreciate the apology, I said, but I do not know if I can have you in my life again. Maybe someday. Not now. I understand. That is more than fair. He stood, extended his hand. I shook it. Take care of yourself, Ryan. You too. After he left, I sat there for a while processing. My phone buzzed. Text from Emma, my girlfriend of a year and a half. Still on for dinner tonight? Yeah. 7 p.m. Love you too. That evening over dinner, I told Emma about the encounter. How do you feel? She asked. Honestly, I do not know. He seemed genuine. Do you think you will ever reconcile? Maybe. When he has proven it is real, not just when he needs something. When enough time has passed, that I am sure that is healthy. There is a difference between holding a grudge and having boundaries. 6 months later, my business hit $500,000 in revenue. I hired 2 more employees, moved into a proper office. Emma moved in with me, gradually, naturally, our lives merging. One Saturday, I got a call from Dad. We would been in minimal contact. He would send occasional updates. I would read them but rarely respond. Tyler got promoted to manager. He said he is really doing well. Paid me back another $1,000 this month. That is good. Pause. Ryan, I do not expect anything from you, but I wanted you to know your mother and I are proud of you. We should have said that 20 years ago. My throat tightened. Thanks, Dad. I know it is too late, but I wanted you to hear it anyway. A year after running into Tyler, I received a letter from Dad with a cashier check inside, $18,400. The exact amount of the judgment. Tyler wanted me to send this. Took him 2 years, but he paid back the full judgment. He wanted you to know he is serious about making things right. No expectations, just accountability. Dad. I stared at the check for a long time. Then, I called Tyler. It is Ryan. Got the check. I wanted to make it right, he said quietly. 2 years of saving, but I did it. You did not have to. The judgment was against Mom and Dad. I know, but it was my lawsuit, my entitlement that started it. I needed to take responsibility. Cash the check, he said. Please, I need to know I did at least this one thing right. Okay, I donated it. All $18,000 to a scholarship fund for low-income kids pursuing business degrees. Kids who would work 3 jobs through college. Kids like I had been. I texted Tyler check, cashed, donated a scholarship fund. You are square. His response, that is perfect. Thank you. Emma found me in my workshop that evening. You donated it? Yeah, because I never needed their money. That was the whole point. She kissed me. I love you. I know. Are you going to talk to them? Your family. Eventually, when I am ready, when it does not feel like giving up boundaries, just choosing to extend grace. A year later, I proposed to Emma. Small proposal, just us at the house. I would renovate it myself. She said yes. We planned a small wedding. Her family, our friends Aunt Rachel and Uncle Jim from my side, no one else. A month before the wedding, Dad called. I heard about the wedding. Congratulations. I know we are not invited. I understand why, but I wanted you to know we are happy for you. Thanks, Dad. 6 months after the wedding, Emma and I found out she was pregnant. I waited a week before calling Dad. Emma and I are having a baby. Silence. Then his voice thick with emotion. That is wonderful. Congratulations. When the baby comes, maybe you can visit. Meet your grandchild. His voice broke. I would like that very much. We will figure it out. Our daughter Sarah was born 9 months later. My parents came to the hospital quietly, respectfully. Tyler came separately with a children's book. Congratulations, man. She is beautiful. Thanks. It was not reconciliation. Not yet. But it was progress. Small steps, earned steps. A year after Sarah was born, we had our first family dinner. My house, my terms. Emma, Sarah, and me at the center. Mom, Dad, and Tyler at the edges, respectful, grateful to be included. It was not perfect. Awkward silences, uncomfortable moments. But it was a start. After they left, Emma and I cleaned up. How do you feel? She asked. Okay, it was okay. Think you will do it again, maybe in small doses. Later that night, I stood in Sarah's nursery watching her sleep. My daughter growing up in a house where she would be seen, valued, celebrated for who she was, not compared to a golden child sibling. I thought about the lawsuit, the trial, the years of hurt. And I realized something. The best revenge was not destroying them. It was building a life so good their validation did not matter anymore. And then when I was ready, when they had earned it, letting them back in, not because I needed them, but because I chose to. That was power, that was peace, that was real success.